Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zolotech, and this is what's on my iPad mid-2016. A little past mid-2016, but a lot of you were asking me, so let me remove my smart keyboard here. And I use this quite often. I didn't like it to begin with if you watch some of my other videos, but if you watch my current videos, you'll see that I actually do like it quite a bit. So as you can see, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, this screen layout really hasn't changed at all. And if I just scroll through here real quick, I have quite a good amount of apps, but I tend to organize things on my phone as everything that's quickly accessible on the front of my phone. The iPad, not so much. So you can see I have YouTube. I use that often. And on this front page, I probably use YouTube, Pixelmator, which is a great photo editing app. And you can see I actually created this within this app. So I took a screenshot from the actual video and did all of this from the app itself. Really great app and definitely recommend it. I use it on the Mac all the time as an alternative to Photoshop because Photoshop requires a monthly payment, as does Premiere. So I use Final Cut Pro 10 and Pixelmator, and it does a great job. And I definitely recommend it here. I think it's $5 or so on the iPad, and I think on the Mac side it's more like $15, but definitely worth it. Not 100% what Photoshop can do that it can do, but it's pretty good, and it's up there for most people. I also have Tweetbot. Now Tweetbot, I'm not really sure why people really love this app. I thought I'd try it. It's a $10 app, and as far as Twitter goes, it's fine, but the actual Twitter app I have no issues with either. And maybe I'm missing something, and if I am, let me know in the comments below. I haven't really figured that one out. But anyway, journaling app. I never bought the new version called Day 1 2, and that one seems to work just fine, and it really works well. So let's go to the next page. On the next page, you're going to see, again, just a bunch of different stuff. So I have a couple of different books. These are actually for my son. He really likes that. And then I have a game that I've been playing, Lara Croft Go. A pretty neat game. I got bored of it after about the 10th level or so and haven't really played it since. But let's check out the other games that I have. And you'll see here, Ticket to Ride, I always recommend. I play it from time to time here and there. World of Goo is another great game. And they actually just came out with a new game. Pretty nice. They're pretty good developers, and they have some pretty nice games. Bridge Construction Set. These are the same creator, different apps. Very similar, though. Very good. Monument Valley and The Room 1, 2, and 3. Can't wait if there's going to be a fourth one, maybe a new Monument Valley. Some of the best games on iPad, I think. Geometry Wars, Stratego, Field Runners. This is Extreme Landings, and this was updated, so I haven't opened it. This is much better on the Mac side as far as playing a game, and it just is better with keyboard controls as opposed to actually tilting it to get the plane to move and that sort of thing. I prefer the keyboard controls to that, and you can't use the keyboard from the smart keyboard on it on the iPad. At least I haven't been able to. I also have Rollercoaster Tycoon 3. I have to say, I played this when it came out years ago on the PC. Haven't really played it on this, but I did pick it up. I think I also have Grim Fandango. It's a great adventure game from years ago, and definitely recommend that one. So on this screen, you can see I have Feedly. This is a news app. B&H Photo, a great place to pick up some photo gear, video gear, or lighting, or any of that stuff. Between that and Amazon is where I get most of my stuff. This Life, that's pretty much a defunct app. It's actually Shutterfly now, and it's basically a photo app. I've tried out quite a few apps. I have over 65,000 photos in my photo library, and I'm going to do a separate video on that and show you how that works. But I'm waiting for iOS 10 to come out because they've changed a few things, and I want to see if anything's improved or gotten worse. So as far as Apple apps, pretty self-explanatory here. Just Apple apps. The next one is utilities. Some pretty good utilities. Airport utility for an Airport Express router that I use. We also have iNet, which lets you see all the different devices on your network and their IPs, so I use that. And then PDF Pen, Crash Plan, Numbers, and OneDrive. Now, most of the time when I'm looking for an app, I just search for it. On the keyboard, just like a Mac, you can hit Command Space, and it will pop this up, and then you can search for an app. And that's how I just open apps, just like I do on the Mac. So them being arranged really doesn't matter because when I want to open an app, I just search and hit Enter. And that works for me. benchmarking apps when I benchmark things. So benchmarking the iPad versus, say, the iPad Air 2, for example. And just to note, this iPad is actually running iOS 9.3.4 as opposed to iOS 10. iOS 10 is running on my iPad Air 2 because I don't like to use my main device, except my phone, I guess, with the latest beta. I like to keep it pretty stable since I use this so much. Now, one of the apps I do use quite a bit is Imovie, and I would love to see a Final Cut Pro version come here with a little bit more options, but I use Imovie on the go, so what I'll do is I'll take some video footage when I maybe do an iOS update, take that video footage, pop it into Imovie via AirDrop, edit it there, and then upload it. Works really well, and this is incredibly fast at compressing 4K or 1080p video. It's unbelievable. It actually will outpace my Mac Pro, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it actually will. Now, this next page here is where I have a few different things like Filmic Pro, where you can change some video parameters. That's better on the iPhone, I think, but you can use this for video recording, and it's a paid app. I think it was $2 to $5, something like that. You'll see it's picking up my audio down here. So we have a level there, tells you 24 frames per second, 1080p. We've got a ton of parameters here: resolution, frame rate, audio, device, presets. And this is great. You can lock different settings, your exposure, your white balance here. It's really a pretty comprehensive app. And I think Apple uses it when they use the filmed with iPhone those ads. I think they're using that actually to record it. I could be wrong, but I believe they are. I've tried Pinnacle Pro. I just don't like the interface of it. I know this is a more comprehensive video editing app, and I just don't like this particular interface. I wish there was something else, like I said, Final Cut Pro, and I'll be doing some videos on Final Cut Pro, and supposedly there'll be a new version on the Mac soon, an updated version with some things we've been wanting for quite some time. Now, I do have Graphic. Graphic is a vector graphic editing program. It works pretty good with the pencil. I picked it up when the pencil came out to try it out. It works good. Haven't touched it since. I have a coloring app, something to do if you're bored, and finance managing apps. That's pretty much it. And then on the last page, I usually always reserve the last page for things I'm trying, but in this case, Swifty, Inbox, Hangouts, I actually use pretty often. Swifty I don't. This is newer. This is to learn Swift to program on the iPad. And you've got Swift Basics and all sorts of things. It's actually a pretty neat app. And I know Apple's got their own version coming out soon, but this one's a little bit more adult-ish, I guess, as far as learning as opposed to being more of a child learning app. So it's pretty nice. So other than that, there's not a whole lot else on here. I would definitely like to hear your suggestions for video editing apps. Maybe I'm missing something. And I also like to hear your suggestions as far as any new games and why you might like Tweetbot, if you have that, or a better Twitter app. Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.